Should you get and build Gavial? Short answer, yes. Long answer, this entire video.
暇そうだなドクター。私もちょうど暇してっから一緒に散歩でもするか。突っ込むのは私に任せて、お前らはとにかく後方支援を頼む。
Gavial, the Invincible, is a limited 6-star Centurion guard from Sargon. A combat medic operator coming from the tribe deep inside Sargon's rainforest. When she was young, she contracted oropathy while trying to save operator Tomimi that got stuck in the mines. But later was ostracized by her tribesmen for her disease. Eventually she got pissed, and ends up beating every challenger in a ceremony, where they're going to choose the next great chief of her tribe. Because of that show of power, she earned her tribe's respect, and became the candidate for the next great chief. But was not interested, left her tribe, and later became a mercenary. Because she possessed a natural aptitude for healing arts and wanted to save lives, she eventually joined Rhodes Island and became a combat medic. At one point, she received a letter telling that her tribe is in trouble. She rushed back with the new equipment and weapon she got from Operator Unex. And to her surprise, the trouble also concerning the Durin that lives underneath the rainforest. Gavial Altar is the second 6-star Centurion guard after Elite Operator Blaze. Probably one of the most anticipated altar in the game. Because we all know, while her 4-star version is a medic. But Gavial is also a powerful fighter in the story. But is she a powerful fighter in the game? Let's find out. Gavial Altar is a Centurion guard. A guard that will attack multiple enemies equal to their block count. As for her stats, for a 6-star Centurion, she has high attack and offensive stats. She has a pretty high DPS to fight the enemies. And let's not forget she attacks multiple targets. And when compared to Blaze, Gavial is slightly tanky. Although with her talent that we will talk soon. Overall Gavial has better stats than Blaze. Now for her first talent. This will permanently increase her attack and defense. And for every enemy blocked, she will gain additional attack and defense boosts. This is a simple but great talent. It works well with her Trey and some of her skills. And since Gavial Altar is made to deal with enemy waves, the additional attack will help her clear the enemies to avoid getting overrun. And offense will help her to mitigate more damage. And because this talent, she's very useful to fight enemies in chapter 10. And she might be useful for you in the upcoming CC10. As for her second talent, it will increase the amount of heal she received from any source. And increase the effect if she gets healed when her HP is below 50%. This is a good talent to increase her survivability. By simply increasing the amount of heal she gets. And this is her potential. She got a good potential enhancement. And luckily her talent 1 enhancement is at pot 3. But like most, I think Gavial is fine without potential. And currently, Centurion Guard doesn't have module. Now moving to her skills. Her first skill. Gavial will increase her attack, and each attack will heal her for some percentage of the damage dealt. Well, pretty much like JS2 or Incantation's Medic Tray. Gavial already has big attack. And her ability to attack multiple enemies can give her more heal. And not to mention her second talent will increase the healing amount. All in all, this is a good early skill. And the only skill to make her become self-sustain. Although I don't think we should focus on this one. Considering her other skills are just better. When facing bulky enemy, the damage from this skill is nothing extraordinary. And that also affect her healing. The way I see it, this skill will only useful in IS mode when you haven't get a healer. As for her second skill, expand her range to become like a spreadshitter sniper. Increase her attack and defense. And when attacking and blocked enemies, she will pull them toward herself. This skill gives her a massive amount of attack, that can easily kill a tanky enemy like these defense crushers. And she becomes an ultimate lane holder with this skill, as she can easily hold multiple lanes when her skill is active, thanks to the extended range to attack further targets. Not to mention the pull mechanic is also useful. The maximum pull level you can get is medium. She can pull level 2 enemies and below easily. But level 3 weight enemies will be only pulled this much. But still looks very good to stall enemies, or even killing them before exiting her attack range. Overall, this is an awesome lane holding skill that also has a great uptime. It makes Gavial great for a newbie since this awesome skill is her skill too, and also makes her a great option in IS mode. In addition, Gavial S2 is famous for being a great skill to partner with probably the most cracked operator the global player will soon have, and that is Muina with his S3. Gavial's S2 uptime almost perfectly synchronizes with his S3 downtime. And one thing that Muina needs is a reliable blocker on his back, allowing these two strong units to cover each other. Last but not least, her third skill. Increase her attack and attack speed, and increase her block count by +2. Within skill duration, she only takes 50% of the damage that the enemy dealt, whether that is physical, arts or true damage. But after the skill ends she will bleed, receiving the remaining damage for 20 seconds. Thanks to the massive DPS she gets, she can easily kill big number of enemies in a short time with this skill. The increased block count also allows her to attack more enemies, and increasing more of her stats by using her talent 1. Mitigating 50% damage will also help to increase her survival chance, especially when fighting bosses. But be careful when her skill ends, as she will take all the remaining damage she gets during the skill duration. Without a healer she can get killed. For skill mastery priority, her S2 and S3 are equally good. She has M6 potential. But if you can only afford one for the time being, I suggest her skill 2 first. It is more versatile, can attack further targets, has better uptime, and seeing her attack enemies with her tail is absolutely beautiful. And while S3 has more raw damage, but you probably use this in a certain situation like when fighting a boss. As for her base skills, increase guard operator mastery training speed by +30%. If training for M3, increase it by additional +65%. But because of her skill 2, her moral reduction will be increased if training for M3. So, will Gavial Alta become a good operator for your team? A great limited operator that can nuke enemies with big damage. For a newbie that lacks on DPS ground unit, she is undoubtedly for you. And a long-time player might find her S2 uniqueness or her S3 useful. Besides, she is a limited, and her banner consists of other great operators. That should be all. Adios.